Comic Corner time. This is a pickup video for comic book releases of, what's the date today? Today. May 21st. May 21st. Actually quite a really light thing, but Cyber City Comics hooked me up even when I don't buy a lot. Still haven't gotten the X-Files issue, hasn't come in, and yeah, kind of sucks, but what are you gonna do? Not much you can do about it. But yeah, I only got 2 comics. So, first comic up, completing the series 7 of 7. It's the Forever Evil. Everybody, basically all the bad guys trying to stop the other bad guys, I guess, if you want to say, I don't know, whatever. If you've been following the story, you know what it's about. If you haven't been, I don't know if I'd say get in on it or not, but if you're a fan of superheroes and you're not in, you haven't done DC, you haven't given DC a chance, I'd say now would probably be a good time to give DC a chance. You know, essentially they're rebooting their entire universe, so it's worth checking out. And nice thing is if you haven't being, you know, into DC, that there are enough trades out there of the really good stories and the really popular stories, cutting out all that fat so you don't have to read all the stuff in between, and get yourself caught up. You know, whether it be Batman, Superman, I mean, Wonder Woman has some stuff, Green Lantern. There's, you know, trades for all the big story arcs they've had over the last little bit. So if you want to read the old stuff and then get caught up to, you know, so you know the backstories and where they were before this, you know, all new 52 as they call it, that's awesome. Or you can just go start with the new 52 stuff, and basically assume that you just don't really need to know anything prior. But I mean, the DC Comics and their superheroes are pretty well known, even to the general public. They may not know everything. They may not know that, you know, their Robin's died several times. They may not know that, but that's neither here nor there. They know of Robin. They may not know, I think it was Black Canary? See, I don't even know. Who am I talking? What am I talking DC? I don't know DC myself. But that's one of my goals. I want to do a catch up and get into these, read these stories and such, and at least read some of the old stuff, and maybe read the new 52s if I really feel up to it. But I've never been into DC. I've never been a real superhero guy, so hey, whatever. Thus brings me to the second comic. Yeah, see, I see how I was stretching this long and giving you a little bit more just so I could fill out this video instead of being like, hey, here's one, here's the other, goodbye. Another issue number 7. This is of Unity from Valiant. Got the ninja star there. So now this, honestly, I get into the Unity stuff simply because I like following the stories from the guys that I do read, but I don't read all of the Valiant Universe titles. I don't read Exo Man of War or Ninjak. What a crazy name, Ninjak. But I do read Harbinger. So, because the Harada Foundation or Corporation is a big player in the Valiant universe, there's always some correlation of some sort with that particular storyline, whether they influence anything in the future for that, you know, for those stories or not, unknown. But yeah, honestly, I like the Valiant. I like the Valiant universe. I mean, even the Exo Man of Wars and all that kind of stuff, which is a very weird weird tale. I'm cool with that. It's something that if I had more money, I probably would. I would collect all of the Unity stuff. I'd probably actually collect a lot more Image stuff too, because they have some very offbeat type titles. But really, it comes down to money, right? You got to pick and choose. So, yeah, essentially, notice I haven't picked up. See, I picked up the reboot of Magnus Robot Fighter, which was an old Valiant title, way back when. Well, it's an old title, but Valiant picked it up when Valiant first came around, and I picked the reboot up when it first came out, but it disappeared, and. So yeah, I kind of lost interest, seeing as how they killed the reboot I was reading, and now of course Dynamite's released it, which I do support Dynamite. I don't have a problem with Dynamite. I'm actually almost thinking I might get into Pathfinder, which is a fantasy book, because I'm digging the ElfQuest now that I've started. ElfQuest has come back. I'm digging that, and I was reading. What else was I reading that was fantasy? Magic the Gathering. I was reading that, and that was also interesting. It took a little bit for me to really get into it, but I like it in general. So I'm thinking I might want to pick up another fantasy title, at least one. But yeah, money affects everything. Like I dropped the Hellboy and the BPRD and all of the those Dark Horse things. So really, I think I have cut Dark Horse out of my collecting almost completely, as far as I can tell, because the Star Wars is their big thing. They currently have Buffy Vampire Slayer season 10 going, but I wasn't a big enough Buffy fan to really warrant me reading a season 10. And if I did, I'd probably get it in a trade anyways. So yeah, I've cut Dark Horse out. Still read some Boom stuff. There's some Zenoscope titles that if they come around, I'd pick them up. But they're really focused on that whole Twisted Fairy Tales thing. So they have like 30 different titles in that. They're like the Marvel's X universe is the Zenoscope Fairy Tale universe. And honestly, I was planning to get into that, but then they just kept releasing more and more and different, and I was just like, yeah, you know what, I'm out. There's just too many for me to catch up on. There's no way I can do it. Like even doing trades, there's just so many trades for such a small little place. I'm guessing it does really, 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 really well, and that's why they obviously have pushed everything into that. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah. That's the way collecting goes, right? If you have infinite amount of funds, you can get into an infinite amount of things. If you don't, then, well, you pick and choose. And this week I picked 2. So, yeah. Let me know if there's anything that you want to collect or you would like to check out, but due to, not having enough money, or not having enough money to spread around to comics because you've spent it on other things, which is obviously part of my problem. Yeah, let me know if there's anything that you really want to get into, or that you would recommend people get into, simply because it is just that good that you know what, you have to add this to your list of titles that are out right now and your pickups. So because I'm sure other people would like to know, but mainly because I would like to know. My funds are limited. Let me know what I should be reading. So, yeah. I guess that's the end of this video. I only had 2 comics, so like I said, I've been spewing off stuff just to get this video to a length worth watching. So I'll end the video here and say, till next time, read a comic. Or 2. If you have money, get more. Take care, guys.